Hello, my name is Lisa Shea, and today we're going to look at how to fold an origami swan. A swan is a symbol of love and loyalty and beauty in many different cultures. So this is a fairly simple shape, so this is a good one to start with if you are new to origami. It's good to use origami paper for this because the folds will get more creased with the thinness of the origami paper, but you can do this with any kind of paper you want. Just make sure that it's a square shape because you need the square to be able to fold the shape. Alright, so we're going to start by turning the paper upside down if there's an upside and a right side. If there's the same on both sides, it doesn't matter which way you put it. So we're going to start by folding one diagonal corner towards the other diagonal corner. So a way to make creases work properly is to fold it softly first without creasing and get the pieces to align. So in this case we want these two diagonal points to align. And when we've got them pretty aligned, hold it down with one piece of your finger and then use the other finger to trace a line to the opposite end and make a crease there. So now we've got a crease here, and we're going to slide our finger in one direction and then slide our finger in the other direction. And that way it helps ensure that everything stays in line as we work with the fold. Alright, so now we're going to unfold it. So we're back to flat again with the bottom side of the paper up. Now we're going to fold these two sides in to the center fold that we just made. So we're going to start by folding this side here over to the center fold. So again, we're going to go slow and gentle and not crease it yet. This gives us a chance to wiggle the paper around until we are sure that we're about where we want it. We put our finger down to hold it. We slide the finger towards the crease edge to get a starting point. And then we slide our finger one way and we slide the finger the other way. That way we create a nice crease. So we're going to do that again on the other side. So we're going to fold this side in towards the center line. So first we do it softly so that we don't have a crease yet, and this gives us a chance to wiggle things around and make sure it's about where we want it to be. We're going to put our fingers on this fold here to hold it still, slide our finger towards the crease and get it started, and then slide our finger in one direction and then slide our finger in the other direction. So now we've got the starting creases here. So you can see what that looks like. So next we're going to fold these two long lines here on either side to the halfway point of this middle section. So we're not going to fold it all the way over to the middle, we're just going to fold it about halfway. And this doesn't need to be incredibly precise because we are nearly done with the folds for this, so it just needs to be about the halfway mark. So we're going to take this line and fold it over so it's about halfway. And this might take a little practice to take a look at it and say, all right, where about is that halfway mark? It's about there. So again, you hold it in the middle and then you slide your finger in one direction and you slide your finger in the other direction. Alright, so that's about halfway between there and there. And again, this doesn't need to be mathematically precise, you're just getting a general sense of what this bird shape is. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to take this long side here and fold it about halfway mark there. So you do it soft first and wiggle it around a little until you're about sure where it is. And then you put your finger down in the middle part, slide the crease in one direction, and slide the crease in the other direction. Alright, so now we've got a piece. It's folded in half, and then we'll call that a quarter. Alright, so now we're going to turn it upside down, so we're on the solid side. And now we're going to fold it in half fully this way, so that this side lays on top of that side, and it's going to fold along the center crease that we made before. So again, origami paper helps with this part because origami paper is good at remembering where the creases are, but you should be able to do this with any sort of paper to be able to fold that in half. All right, so we're just reseating that crease. That crease already existed along the center line. We're just making it sharper again. All right, so now this is in half. You can see how it looks from the different angles. Right, so now we're going to take it so that it is shaped like this, so that the open part is facing you and the solid back is facing away from you. So this is the body of the swan here. So what we're going to work now is making the neck and the head. So first we're going to bend the neck up at an angle. It's not exactly a right angle, and this is up to you as an artist, how much you want the neck to be bent. If it's going to be a little further back or a little leaning forward, I'm going to do it about there. So I'm going to have it leaning here. I'll put this on a grid line. I'm going to have this leaning a little bit backwards, just to give a little bit of arc to the neck. So all I did was fold this up at an angle. So this next part may seem a little tricky, but this is a good technique to learn because you're going to use this on a lot of different origami, and it's what's called an inside fold. Right, so we folded this like this to give the creasing on here. And again, this is somewhere where origami paper will help you a little because it will hold this crease a little better than regular paper will, but you can do this with any kind of paper. What we want to do is open this up a little, and we are going to fold that. See how that's coming up? Fold it as if it's going up towards the sky, and then we are going to reverse this fold here. So instead of, it started out by going like this with the open sides on the outside, we are going to flip it so that the open parts are on the inside. So like this. Stick those open parts inside. Alright, so I'm going to do that again so you can see how that works, because that could be a little confusing for someone who's new to origami. Right, so this is what we're ending up with. This bottom part is exactly the same, it hasn't changed. This top part now has a solid top spine up there, and all of the open stuff is on the inside. So I'm going to undo it. Right, so this is how it starts with all of the open stuff up there. We are going to unfold it a little bit, put our fingers in that crease area to get the creases to point in the opposite direction, and stick our fingers in this middle area to get that to fold in. See, we want that to fold in so that the open areas are on the inside now. So this stuff out here is exactly the same as before. This part out here has reversed so that now the solid part is on the outside and the open part is on the inside. All right, so you might have to practice that a few times to get the hang of the reverse fold. But again, this is something that is used in all sorts of origami, so it's a good technique to learn. And what really helps is getting these creases nice and sharp, because you have a crease that was going one direction before and is now going a different direction. And that paper being a little bent is what helps it to do that. Alright, so now we have the neck of the swan. And now we're going to do the same thing with the head, and that'll be the last fold for this whole shape. So again, first we're going to do a starting fold to give it something to crease on. So decide where you want the head to be and what angle you want to be at. So like we could do that with the head. You can make it a little pointing up or a little pointing down. It's completely up to you. But the important part is to make a nice sharp crease at that head fold, because this is what we're going to have to be doing a reverse fold around in a second. So you want that to be nice and sharp. So once you've got that crease done sharp, you're going to release it. And then again, this will be a little tricky to see, because let me see if I can hold it up towards the camera. So we've got this piece here, whoops, sorry, this piece here for the head, which has got a nice fold in it. So now we're going to press in on the spine part to help that fold in the opposite direction, because now we want the head to fold around the outside. See, like that? Alright, so I'm going to undo it and redo it again so you can see. Start it out like this, straight. We've got a fold that we've creased about right there. We're going to push in on the spine and get the paper to come around on the outside. So it comes around like this, and it folds down like that. And again, that might take a practice 2 or 3, and make sure you get those creases really sharp. That will help with the folding. And now we have a finished swan. And the swan will actually stand up, so you can use that as a table decoration or a wall decoration or shelves or whatever you want to use this for. It will stand up fine on its own, and this is what it looks like when it's sideways. If you put this under a heavy book, then it will flatten down more. Right now it's sort of fluffy, you can see, because it is just freshly folded. But if you put this under something heavy, then it will sit flat. And I'm going to grab some tape. I'm just going to temporarily use tape so that you can see without my fingers on it what this looks like when it's folded and flattened, so you don't have to wait for me to have it sitting on a heavy book. So there we go. So that's what it would look like once it is flattened. And again, you choose the angle for the head and the neck, so you can choose to have it leaning back more or leaning forward more. You can choose to give it more of a neck if you want to, just by folding up a little further up its body. So you have complete control over the ending result for this swan. So let me know if you have any questions about the swan, or if you'd like to see me fold it with different kinds of colors or from a different angle. I am happy to help. So have a wonderful afternoon.